can't see us.
We live, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah, we are indeed. Good afternoon, and indeed welcome to the Radical SR8 Championship. We are here for round 7 here at Rudskogen. Just 4 rounds to go in our championship season. So, as we've always had, other than a couple of races this season, 2 races coming up for us here tonight. 15 minutes in the first race, a 25-minute in the second, with a top 10 reverse grid in that second race, which is going to be quite an exciting one because it is a pretty difficult circuit to overtake on. Myself, Ewan, and Tim Biggles will be with you here for this evening's action. And as you can see, John McCutcheon has got off to a good start, and he's indeed got off to a good qualifying as well. He's talking in the week actually about how difficult this circuit is, but so far he's been able to better the rest in qualifying, and so far in the race as well. Not a circuit, Biggles, that people know very much about, actually. It's not very well used in the world of motorsports. It's a very regional circuit in Scandinavia, and so not many of the drivers this week have known very much about this circuit before the race.
Yeah, right. I don't know too much about the circuit, so I'm relying on your expertise, of course. And thank you, everybody. Sorry about a little bit of delay, a little bit of technical issue in the background there with YouTube, not wanting to just get this one live. But we haven't missed too much. So far, so good. Maybe we're just missing JB Bird coming off track at the moment there, and he will drop the front blast, and that is the first victim, I'd say, of this track at the moment. And there he is, yeah, for the Racing 86.
Looks like it out of turn 1 and 2. Just going for us. He saved it initially, and then had another spin on the exit as well. And did find the wall. He will get his nose back, but he just gently hit the wall and is dropped down to 14th place, unfortunately for Jamie Bird. McCutcheon's got off to a good start though, as I said, and he is pulling away from Luke Maxwell, who's also pulling away from Mikey Pollard. He's under quite a lot of pressure from Mike Boosen, who is in 4th position, and of Ewan Bramer then, who's then in 5th, and Paul LeMay as well in the 6th position, all pretty close in that part of the field as they make their way now round the final corner, double apexing turn 14 to come on to the front straight. Bramer so close behind Boosen, it actually looks like he's got alongside him in towards turn 1. No, not quite just yet. He's tucked in behind Boosen. Don't want to really be it's a decision to make, inside or outside at turn 1, because it switches to the opposite side for turn 2, and Bramer wasn't able to get past on that occasion.
Just have to fix the AM Pros class at the moment, because Coleman is a AM class. It's all sorted out. Time to go racing. Well, they're already racing. We're at lap 3 at the moment. They're the first 15-minute heat at the moment. John with a not so commanding lead, but just a little bit there over the 2 Brits there. So come on, Scotland. We don't like England too much, do we? Oh wait, I'm in here with an Englishman.
Yes. Right, there you go. I won't say that. Out of the hairpin they go, and that's turn 8 rather. This is turn 10 down the hill. Trickiest braking zone on the circuit. That's Boosen and Bramer very, very nearly into the back of one another there, but they just get on the brakes in time. Well, that was a bit wide from Boosen. Just a little bit of gravel kicked up on the outside as he goes slightly wide, and Bramer will get himself down the inside. Looks a little bit similar to what he managed last lap rather, but Bramer gets to the inside of Boosen, who can't then take the right line through the final corner, and he's been passed. And Paul LeMay will try and come through as well, and he does. So Boosen has been also talking about how much this circuit has been difficult. Earlier this evening he was talking about that. And so, you can see a little bit why. Bramer and LeMay able to just slip through there through the final corner.
Down the hill, flying, sweeping to the right. You can see the immense speed that they're traveling. A little snatch there on the bump there, as you can see there from Bremer. And it's being chased currently by LeMay for the Two Brothers Racing team. Where is the brother? It's just Paul LeMay at the moment.
It's, Michael LeMay not here, unfortunately. We do have one notable absentee, or a couple of actually notable absentees tonight. Pat Seaborn is away in Singapore. Hopefully he'll be returning for the last round at Daytona, which is on the 5th of May. Paul Crabb is on the M1, so he's not here either. And Josh Reed, unfortunately, missing a few weeks as well. He'll be back for the final 2 rounds of this championship season. So it looks like we're going to have quite a full entry for Daytona as everybody returns back to the calendar again, or returns back to the track again for the end of the season. But between now and then, we have got a few missing, unfortunately. The top contenders are here, though. McCutcheon versus Maxwell, 1 and 2, just a second apart, a second and a half back to Mikey Pollard, who is in third place at the moment. Then you've got Bramer, LeMay and Bussen. David Rosden's in the background. He's leading in the AM so far, ahead of Declan Marsden, who's in the 8th position. And then you can see this battle between Menno de Graaf, Damien G and Stefan Melitz going on to another lap as well. Starting to see the early signs of a very, very difficult circuit to overtake on, as expected.
Well, but if Cap Car sees an opportunity. Oh, LeMay, Bussen actually just got past LeMay. So I'm not quite sure if LeMay's made a little bit of a mistake there. Bussen's just found a little bit extra boost on that Team Radline 666 entry.
He's under pressure again immediately, though, from Paul LeMay. So based on the pace he had earlier on, not sure how easy he's going to find this, holding on to this position, to be honest, into the final couple of corners. Taking a nicer line that time. LeMay just a little bit wider. We'll hope to get the run onto the front straight and get a little bit closer for another few laps' time as we approach half distance in this race. I must say, as we approach half distance, race 2 is going to be very, very interesting to see how easy or not it is to overtake, because when they are all in the qualifying positions here, they are finding it quite difficult. But what's going to happen when we have some drivers who are faster in the field behind some drivers who are slower? Well, we'll find out as the final spots in that reverse top 10 are being fought over here. Damien G has a look down the inside of Menno de Graaf, and he can't quite find his way through, but de Graaf still gives him the room. Oh, and they just about make contact as well. Menno de Graaf keeps 9th place for now.
A bit door banging, love it. Absolutely fantastic. That's what you got to do, climbing down the hill there. You saw too that bump that they approached that breaking point, so that's going to be catching some of those drivers off guard there. But so far so good. That hasn't just yet, but potentially it will be. Stefan Mellis has joined this party at the moment, and you might have Pullman lurking just in the background there. So I think at the moment de Graaf, it looks like Marson, sorry, may be slowing the rest of this field down.
Menno de Graaf is at the front of this group at the moment, and he'll do well to hold on to the top 10, but that will be his aim, I think, for the remainder of this race as they cross the line again at the end of this 2-mile circuit. Been in this layout for 13 years now, from 2012 when it was effectively doubled in size. Used to be a very small 1-mile circuit, and when it was made in the 90s, the early 1990 in fact, it broke ground. It's doubled in size since then. This section has been added all the way down here, making use of the elevation change. Beforehand, we effectively, instead, if you can imagine it, going right at turn 1 rather than left, and rejoin the circuit back at turn 8. If you can get a track map in front of you, you'll see what I mean. It used to be a very small 1-mile circuit, but now it's a proper track with proper ups and downs as well, and there'll be another of them on the way down here. Deceptively steep, this slope down here. Really makes the braking zone quite long and quite difficult here. Mike Bussen able to execute that all fine. He's still got the pressure heaped upon him by Paul LeMay here in the race. LeMay looking to try and limit the damage here with McCutcheon in first place. He'll be losing quite a few points to McCutcheon as it stands for Paul LeMay, having a great season so far in the SR8 Championship.
These drivers are happy that it's not covered in snow, which it probably would be for half the year. So at the moment, beautiful conditions to go racing up, and we're about halfway through our first heat.
We're getting to that time of the year where it might not be covered in snow in this circuit, which is a positive for everybody. In those conditions in our racing. Into the downhill they go. Only 23 degrees, you can see on the circuit, still relatively cool. No wind about. Marsden versus Rolleston for the lead in the AM class. Goodness me, that's some different lines on the way down the hill there at turn 3 and then turn 4, which is the second apex of that. Marsden really applying the pressure here, but he's going to have the same problem that everybody else has been having so far. It's pretty difficult to overtake by the looks of things.
Oh, Damon has gone off, and so has Pullman. So I pretty much have to, if you're a betting man, to say that they've come together on the track somewhere.
Yeah, so Damien G was trying to pass Menno de Graaf, as we saw. Was he trying to get down the inside here and getting it wrong?
Oh.
Not really. Oh, there's the spin. Oh, so it's a de Graaf half spin. G hits him, and entirely separately, Gert-Jan Polman goes around as well.
Yeah, exactly. As you mentioned there. So this is completely separate. Well, as you saw, they go together, and then Pullman comes to the scene of the crime and goes, "Oh, well." I felt a sympathy spin, or half spin, isn't it? Going, oh, well, you know, if you guys are going to have a spin, let me join the party.
There's a little bit. And that's given Mellis ninth place, rather. Menno de Graaf is 10th. And then Jamie G's got work to do to try and get back to de Graaf. But based on the speed he had earlier, he might be able to do it. He won't have many laps to overtake in that case, though. As we go through turn 3 and 4. Rolleston is taking some defensive lines in some of these corners now, and Marsden's really applying the pressure. Just has a peek up the inside through turn 8. Can't do it there. He will try and get the drive on the exit, but that's going to be pretty difficult. Can he maybe fire down the inside here? Just goes on the defensive slightly. Around the outside maybe for Declan Marsden. No, he'll go for the exit. Look at this. Great run. Oh, he's just got a bit of a slide at the wrong moment there through turn 10. And again, forces the defence in towards 12. Rolleston really under pressure here.
It is very, very difficult to pass, as you can see. Just completely throw off your different racing line there. Just to switch route to come back there. Get some speed, get some momentum. But then, once again, difficult to overtake. I think Rolleston is well aware of that one. But further up the field there, Busen and LeMay. So, still going for it too for Nell, with Bremer just on the back there for the SOB racing entrance. He's going to be seeing all this one. He's going to be wondering, yes, where is an opportunity to overtake? Paul LeMay trying to do this overtaking opportunities. This could be it here right now from the blimp cam.
Bremer has lost 2 places in one, and Busen's happy to give that one up. Looks like he had a slowdown there, which is very possible through turn 1 and 2, I've got to say. So Bremer's got 3 minutes to try and get that place back again off of Mike Busen. And for now, he is not able to. Just applies the pressure here through the S's, I think we'll call them. That's turn 5, 6 and 7 before turn 8, which is the hairpin itself. Shame really for Bremer, but shows you how easy it is to make a mistake around this circuit. It's a very technical circuit, and as I said earlier, not a circuit that many people have much experience on, and so mistakes for these 3 have been fairly common, and that's what we're seeing here. Mike Busen now on the defensive from Ewan Bremer.
Yeah, can you get the overtake done? I saw it happening before, but that's just difficult to do. Time is not on your side of this heat race as well too. Probably just a handful of laps to go. As you can just see, John's already still in that lead, 1.5 seconds up the road there, so he's managed to pull that gap there from Luke Maxwell and Mikey. There's a bit of a lonely race in P3 at the moment.
It is a lonely race, unfortunately, for Mikey Pollard, but a podium, which he'll be pretty pleased with. Rolleston and Marsden still half a second apart, although Rolleston is not under quite as much pressure as he was earlier. He's started to pull a bit of a margin there and do a good job of holding on to the AM lead just for the moment. They are coming through the S's for the penultimate time. 1 more lap to go after this one for Bremer to try and work his way through, and it's going to be difficult, but he had a little bit of a look there on Busen as he just went slightly wide.
Yeah, to lift off there, otherwise he would have been slamming straight into that rear wing. As you can see, you just get close, don't you? It just feels like it's there. Reach out and grab that place, but it's a lot more difficult than what it looks up here at the custom box. But Declan Marsden's gone off, and he has to wait, because remember, he was riding mid-pack there. Gets off the racing line, rejoins the field, but he'll be dropping like the 2025 stock market. Or was that too soon?
He'll be particularly annoyed because he's going to be not a part of that reverse grid anymore, which is especially damaging for him. G and Bird have been given a lifeline. Busen! And Bremer hits him! Out of turn 2, Busen went for a big slide and Bremer's hit him. Rolleston's going to go through. Can the 2 of them limp to the finish here? It doesn't look like they can. Oh my goodness me, these 2 might both drop out of the top 10 here.
Nowhere to go, is he? He was on the loud pedal coming out of the corner there. And just like that, is a game ending. Bremer's just, he can't bring it home, can he? He's just struggling big time. We're going to go up to John Butt because John's going to be finishing up this lap. Well, what an excitement thing. And that's a quick geezer at the replay because we won't have much time, unfortunately, because I'll be switching it over to a cooldown 5-minute. And I'm sure he's going. And John McCutcheon is going to get that call on the radio going, what just happened? All he is worried about is checkered flag right now.
He will be wondering what's happened behind him, but out front he's had no problems. John McCutcheon wins the first race at Rudskogen with about a second to spare over Luke Maxwell. The real test will be for race 2 for them. Pollard and LeMay next, and then Roddeston, who's going to win in the AM class. Great defensive drive from him to keep Declan Marsden behind. G and Bird are going to fight for the last spots on the front row as Boson limps to 6th. It's going to be Bird. Oh, he gets him on the final corner. And can G get there ahead of Declan Marsden? Oh, he just about does. And Declan Marsden just misses out on the reverse grid.
It's that for bringing it home from Declan, isn't it? Absolutely. In the dying stages, that just nursing the car home. And Peter Zoldis will come home in last place as Bromad retired it. That is, wow. I just wanted to have a quick look too at the race start, but unfortunately, once again, iRacing, please extend that so that we can look at replays. But here are your results of our heat race.
Yeah, let's have a look at the first race results here after the opening race of the day, and it's John McCutcheon who takes the win ahead of Luke Maxwell. Mikey Pollard on the podium as well as Paul LeMay. David Roddeston wins in the... Well, LeMay wasn't on the podium. David Roddeston finishes first in the AM class, and a person who limped to the line ahead of Mellis and de Graaf, who will be on the podium despite their trials and tribulations in the AM class. Jamie Bird manages to get himself on the front row for race 2, and he'll be a big favourite for that alongside Damien G. Declan Marsden just misses out on the reverse grid, as does Gert-Jan Palman and Peter Zoldos, with him Bremer finishing one lap down because of that crash on the last lap. Well, let's look forward to race 2, and while we're doing that here at the Rudskogen Motor Centre, we'll take a message from our sponsors for this series. It's the Trophi.Ai Radical SR8 Championship, and in the meantime we'll have a look at this from Trophi.Ai as we build up to race 2 here at Rudskogen.
For the upcoming right-hander, brake 30 meters later and ease off the pressure.
Welcome back to Rudskogen for the 7th round of the Trophi.Ai Radical SR8 Championship here from the Norwegian circuit. Next week, by the way, we'll be here again at Snetterton for another broadcast. But let's have a look in the meantime at the championship standings for this round. It is John McCutcheon who's starting to pull away now in the standings, really. Although the fight for second is very close, only 2 points between Jamie Bird, Luke Maxwell and Mikey Pollard. Of course, McCutcheon winning the last race will have extended that championship lead a bit further now. Paul LeMay is in 5th place, and Mike Boson. 3 points further behind is Ewan Bremer, ahead of Josh Reed, who won't be here until next week, unfortunately. And then it will be Paul Crabb, who's not here as well, and Michael LeMay rounding out the top 10. Declan Marsden's got a good chance to move forward in the AM Championship as a result of the absence of the two in front of him. Then it's Menno de Graaf, who lost a few points in that last race. David Roddeston gained a few after winning. Stefan Mellis and Damien G, who are here today. Peter Zoldos down in 17th place, the only other driver who's here today, I think, that we can list on those championship standings there. Gert-Jan Palman's a bit further down in the standings here this season. It is very much John McCutcheon's to lose, I would say here, Biggles. 4 rounds to go. Now just 7 races to go after that one. And it is going to be McCutcheon, I think, who's going to be the target of everybody. 30 points coming into today, and he's just extended that with a race 1 victory.
And there's the schedule as well. So, as you'd mentioned, we've got Schneiderton, Road Atlanta, and the Daytona Oval. Oh, geez, it reminds me of... it feels like it was just yesterday, wasn't it? The historic Monza. What a race that one was too, mate. My first time, absolute classic. But that's done and dusted now, of course. We've progressed on that one. Let's see how we go. We're in a warm-up at the moment with a couple of drivers just out there on track. And we've kind of spoken of it. We touched on this before, isn't it? Any of the drivers not practicing any of those race starts?
Yeah, we'll have a look at some of them. Well, somebody's pulling to a stop there. It's a very short run towards turn 1 here, so actually practicing the race start I don't think is massively helpful around here. I think what they're going to be more focused on, and this is something you can't practice, what they're going to be more focused on is actually how to overtake
How to
around this circuit,
overtake,
because it
yes.
was very difficult in race 1.
I knew you were going to go there with that one, isn't it? It is difficult to practice with. You have to get some AI cars out there and go, okay, let's see if I can get past you. But yeah, it is going to be a little bit difficult. Wow, I mean, as I said, it's unfortunate we can't show you those incidents there, but yep, a couple of big moments, isn't it, from a couple of drivers getting into each other. That, once again, that just elaborates back on the fact of how difficult it is to overtake. You have to put your car in, you have to do some door banging, and hopefully get the job done. But we did see a couple of overtakes, so we'll see how that pans out. Maybe because of also some of those slowdowns as well.
Yeah, on that, by the way, can you put AIs in an online session these days?
I don't think...
Is that impossible?
Yeah, well...
Feels like that would be an internet
with other-
connectivity disaster.
Well, I mean, I create AI sessions just to kind of set up some broadcasting and stuff like that, and it puts my car out there and track, but I don't drive, so I don't know. Maybe that's one for the chat.
It is useful. Anyway, so that's just a side note. I was just curious. Anyway, let's have a look at race 2, because we have transformed into the session, and it is time for the reverse grid round. It is Damien G who will start from the front alongside Jamie Bird. Really needs to gain some points, and we'll have a great chance to do so. Menno de Graaf and Stefan Mellis will be on row 2, ahead of Mike Booson and David Ralston. Then it will be the 4 out at pros who finished at the top: Paul LeMay, Mikey Pollard, Luke Maxwell and John McCutcheon inside the top 10. We'll let the rest of them scroll through on your screen, because they are in exactly the same position as what they finished in race 1. You can see the drivers getting onto the grid. John McCutcheon, as he always is, or often is, waiting till the very end of the gridding process before he can get himself onto the grid and ready for race number 2 here tonight at the Rudskogen Motor Centre. Wasn't a great race 1 from Jamie Bird. Got back early on and had a lot of work to do. He did get into the top 10 at least late on, but he is going to need to overtake Damien G and win this race, really, if he wants to keep John McCutcheon in check. Well, Damien G is not going to take the start, at least not from the grid, and so it's going to be Jamie Bird who's effectively on the pole position as the lights go out here at Rudskogen and we're underway. Not a great start from Menno de Graaf on the other side of the grid here, and Mike Booson's going to stream through the middle into second place. Jamie Bird will take the lead, but it is going to be the fight for second that is side by side. Booson versus de Graaf. Oh, and in the background there's big contact, I'm afraid. Declan Marston has gone off. Damien G will see them picking up the pieces. Not sure why he's decided to stop from the pit lane, but Marston drops down. We'll look at the start a bit later on as it's side by side for second place here. Booson versus de Graaf, and Mike Booson already up to second place on the race start of race 2.
Absolutely fantastic racing at the moment. They realise how difficult it is to overtake, so they're trying to do it very, very quickly here. Unfortunately, a little bit too quickly. We'll go back and have a look at that in a second. The Declan Marston. John's off. John McCutcheon's off. He made a great start. He made 5 places in the first sector. Unfortunately, he's just lost 7 in the second sector. It looked to me like he just hit the back of Stefan Mellis and just spun himself around. And we're going to look at that in a little bit as well too, so when we continue to see some of these early battles. Paul LeMay on Stefan Mellis.
Yeah, Mellis goes wide, and through goes LeMay, and through as well goes Luke Maxwell on the inside line. Oh, bit close, bit tight, but on the exit he's going to get it into 5th. And yes, there you go, he's going to get the slipstream very nicely from Paul LeMay. You'd expect LeMay to be trying to help the AM, trying to stay in front of Maxwell, but not this time around. He'll be on the outside for 1, it gives you the inside for 2. If you've got your nose in front, you haven't got much chance of going round the outside there if you're Stefan Mellis. And so that is Luke Maxwell up to 5th place. 4 places gained for him on the opening lap. Bramer's got 6. Rolleston's down 6, unfortunately. Not a great start from him. Damien G started from the pit lane, so that's why he's lost so many places early on, but a very lively opening lap.
Loving it. This is the racing we want to see. Some of the drivers are going to be loving it, other drivers are not. John McCutcheon's on a rebound battle at the moment from coming off the track, so I wonder how much damage he got. He might be okay. Just looks like he got the kitty litter. He's going to throw it right with Declan Marston, who also had a moment at the start of this race. David's in the background.
Bit wide from... Zoldos, and he's going backwards here. Through the middle, Marston. He's not going to get down the inside of McCutcheon. That will be silly. Oh dear. Zoldos there locks the brakes and nearly goes into the side of McCutcheon, but doesn't. Marston will slip through on the inside of him as well. Oh, he locks the brakes though. All locking brakes, and now there's a spin in the background. Rolleston hits Zoldos, who goes into the wall.
That's a hard lick into the fence there, isn't it? Just looked like it's a very slow corner. That car is crab walking. And I don't think he's going to have to tow that one back. You'd be lucky if you try to drive that one back. You just got a bit of the track to go as well too. But Stefan Mellis there, Mikey Pollard, Ivan Bremer. That's a battle currently at the moment for 6th, 7th and 8th. Of course, in class, Stefan's running P2 at the moment because De Graaf is up into P3 in the AM class.
Yeah, he's doing a great job so far, Menno De Graaf. Wonder if we can see the start of this race and see if what happened in the incidents there, because Gert-Jan Polman came into the pit lane at the end of lap 1, and I suspect he was involved in it. We saw it from live pictures that there was definitely something going on, but it's hard to pick through the smoke. Look at Bremer steaming through the middle there. It was Marsden who was hit by someone there, and he in the end didn't actually have a lot of damage, but Marsden was spun around.
Was it, couldn't quite see who it was that hit him.
No.
Somebody in the black livery.
Maybe Polman.
Polman, it could have been, yes.
Maybe
exactly.
Polman. But I'm only saying that because he's... No, it wasn't Polman. He's not in a black car. It's someone a bit further down. It might be Peter Zoldos. This looks a bit more like it. You're going to see Marsden steaming through on the right-hand side somewhere. There he is, just up on the right-hand side, rather, in the blue. Bonk, there you go. Zoldos didn't actually do himself a lot of damage there. Now he's got damage as we saw, but didn't do damage in that particular incident. Mellis is on the defensive here in towards turn 1. My goodness, 6th place, and he's keeping Mikey Pollard behind him. That was pretty serious defending for an AM driver ahead of a pro.
Well, they were how difficult it is to overtake around here, and they're not going to be willing to yield those positions based off class. Whoa, I just love that sensational speed going to that corner at the moment as well too. Bremer's on the back there just watching all this unfold. And you got to be very careful too, because if they do come into contact, we saw what happens, isn't it, when you're going around these flying blind corners at full speed. You might find a car on the track in front of you sideways.
This is the closest battle on the circuit, really. Maxwell passing De Graaf shouldn't be too much of a difficulty, you wouldn't expect. A little bit wide though from Mellis, and that's going to give Pollard the chance. Mellis has been defending really hard here, but he's not going to be able to defend from that, and Bremer's just going to try and follow through here. It's going to be a long way round the outside there, and he's not going to get anywhere. You have to get in the slipstream here on the front straight and maybe have a dive at turn number 1. Mellis defends the inside at turn 1, which is very interesting, because if you get the inside at 2 here, if you're Bremer, then you've got a chance. He is alongside in time for turn 2, and there you go. Even Bremer's going to be through as well. Pollard and Bremer both make the overtake in a matter of a few corners.
Absolutely fantastic. That's how you get the overtake done. So it is possible. It was clean. No contact between the drivers, but you do have to put your nose in. You do have to get your hands dirty a little bit. Bremer's now going to work on Mikey Pollard to be next up on his list. 7 positions gained at the moment too for the 036 machine.
Some good job gaining places. John McCutson's not too far behind these guys as well, and he would have been hoping that battle lasted a bit longer so he could catch up. He's got to do it the old-fashioned way here. You'd imagine, though, he will be able to catch and pass Stefan Mellis at some point in the near future. Meanwhile, further up front, Maxwell's trying to pass De Graaf. Oh, that was very close. Bremer locked up there, nearly hit Pollard. Mellis nearly hit him.
Yeah, John's going to be in the back of this. You can just see him in the background in no time, actually. He will be loving this battle. It's going to bring him into play. It's not over there from Stefan Mellis as well, too. So he's going to find his way back there as Ivan Bremer's having a bit of struggling to get that overtake done that Bremer just did before on Mellis. And there's John. And I think he will be onto the back of this pack in no time as Lemay set the fastest lap. It's a 15.62 on lap 6.
On the brakes for turn 1.
Whoa.
Oh, McGutson's a bit wide, but he'll bring it back for turn 2. It's not the end of the world because it's such a long corner. Can go a bit deep into the first part and still get a decent exit, as he has done there on the way down the hill. This section, newly added in 2012. As we have a look at his incident. Yeah, it was. He just hit the back of Mellis, didn't he?
Yeah, went a little bit too quick into the corner, I think. Could not slow it down in time. But doesn't look like there's any damage, certainly because he's got the speed. He's doing 15.65 in the last lap. Stefan Mellis did a 17 and 16 for Bremer, so clearly he's quicker than these drivers up the road, but it's one thing to catch, another thing to overtake.
It certainly is. But for John McCutcheon, you imagine it will be a little bit easier. It's a bit of poetic justice, if you like, that he's right on the back of Mellis again. So we'll see what happens this time round as they battle. 7.5 minutes gone. We race for an extra 10 minutes in race 2, so we're not at the halfway point just yet, but it is flying by. It's a fantastically exciting second race here at Rudskogen, on a circuit that is criticised sometimes for not having such exciting racing. We're certainly not seeing that here so far. It's been very good indeed. Mellis with a good exit out of the final corner and a good run onto the front straight. McCutcheon's going to bring it back with a bit of slipstream here. He's on the outside line, brakes later, and he will get to the inside for turn 2. It's the classic manoeuvre, and Mellis has continued to defend the inside at turn 1. I'm not sure why, because it's giving him the outside at turn 2, and at the moment it's giving him a minus position every time. He's going backwards. He's still on the inside for turn 3 though. If he's brave, he can get this back again, because it's a very long right-hander. But McCutcheon goes round the outside. Great defence, if you like, of that 8th place from John McCutcheon, and he moves up a position. Great battle between the two of them.
Yeah, I love too how the Belgian driver just fought his way back as well. But we might have to go to the top of the timesheets there, because Mike Booson's on the back there of Jamie Bird, and also Paul LeMay, who's been setting some of those quick laps, has caught them. Three-way battle at the front, and the three-way battle back for P5 that we saw before too. So it's all heating up here, where it's usually cold. The snow is melting.
As far as the first time someone, either of us have used that play on words. Anyway, Bird has not got a very good run to the front straight this time, and Mike Booson's going to be looking for a place here on the way towards turn 1. Look how close he is here. He's not going to go for it though. Somewhat surprising, actually. Maybe he doesn't want to fight too hard just yet with the prospect of others catching them, the likes of Maxwell, who's leading that line of Pollard and Bramer and McCutcheon now as well. Doesn't want to let them get involved too much here, but Bird has led most of the laps, who has led all the laps of this race so far. He's holding off Booson and LeMay so far, but let's see what happens here for the remainder of this one. Nearly 10 minutes in, and that means there's still a long way to go here for Bird to soak up this pressure.
Get your sponge out, because the pressure is certainly mounting. There's your lighthouse. It looks like a lighthouse, but it's not, obviously. Some sort of water tower or something like that up here in the mountains. Jamie Bird has the ace cards up his sleeve at the moment, knowing it's easier to defend than it is to attack, but you also got to be making sure you're looking forwards and not backwards when you're driving as well too, because you can easily make a mistake and overshoot the corners, as you've seen some of the drivers do. You've got mirrors full of radical cars behind you.
It's a daunting prospect, and so far Bird has done a good job of ending this one off. Going towards turn 1. They come again.
Just like
that.
that.
Last time round, but he blocks up this time. He goes deep into turn 1, and that's going to be one of the easier passes that Booson makes here today. A mistake from Bird, and through goes Booson. And here goes Paul LeMay as well. He's got to try and strike here, while Bird is knocked back, and his momentum has gone away from him here. He has a look to immediately responded to turn 3, but Booson gives him half a car width and just sweeps around the outside, says you're not having that position, thank you. Here comes LeMay on the other side. He'll get to the outside line here, not quite in towards the 5th corner, but Bird loses the lead, and he'll be disappointed with the way that overtake happened.
Well, the irony when I was just talking about concentration levels, that you can easily make a mistake, and you see it. It looks like it's a lot of fun to be driving these cars around this track. Actually, it's a little bit of you don't need a roller coaster. You just jump into these radicals and throw it around this racetrack. But I was wondering as well too, if you got James on your car, does it make you go a bit quicker? Ask Jamie Bird. JP logo. It's JPB.
That is the rumour. He's got that on the front. There he is. Yeah, it has done for a couple of years now, at least. So, I'm not sure if there's any conclusive evidence, really. I think he has good days and not good days.
Put a picture of Ewan on your car, you get at least three tenths a lap quicker.
Look at Maxwell there, by the way. Personal fastest lap of the race so far, sorry. He'll be on the back of Menedograph pretty shortly. In fact, there he is. There's Pollard and Bramer, rather, fighting away for 6th position, just in front of John McCutcheon. Looks like they can't quite stay with Luke Maxwell, because they were on the back of him not that long ago, but now he's off into the distance.
Yeah, he just set the fastest lap, Maxwell, as well too, so he's putting in some banker laps to try to shake them off his tail, which he's certainly doing at the moment. Bramer's wanting to be shake Mikey's car off the track somehow, force him into a mistake so he can get past, otherwise he's going to have to do it the hard way, overtaking.
And turn 8 they go, and now the very simple turn 9 on the brakes at 10. Pollard a little bit away from the apex there, but he'll bring it back. It's another double apex corner if you like, or you can certainly make it one with the late apex through there. Rainer sits in behind, just applying the pressure as we do hit halfway now in this second race, the reverse grid race So far, the best driver at coming through the field has been Mike Bousson. He's come from the midfield pretty much to the first place now, and he's stretching out an advantage over Jamie Bird as well. Personal best last time round for him, 15.7, and the pass for second is only going to help him as well. Paul LeMay down the inside and through on Jamie Bird.
Yeah, Paul LeMay saying, Mikey, I'm coming for you, mate. Not letting you get away and get this race win. I've got time to come down and catch you about halfway through this race right now, so he's got to get on with it. 15 is the target delta you want to be setting for your lap times at the moment, because that's what most of the drivers have been doing. Go ahead.
Bird just went very wide there, very nearly found himself in the wall. He's lucky that there's a bit of tarmac runoff wide there, because he went very wide, and now Menno de Graaf's right behind him.
Yep, and Maxwell. So that's starting to build up that nice little battle that you see in your pictures from P2 downwards, because that gap that Mike Bousson's got is second, just under a second now. So I think Paul LeMay now is clear. He's going to try to bring that down there. So if we continue on like this, we're going to have a nice top 10 or top 8 shootout, I think, towards the end there before the field spreads a little bit further down.
Yeah, it's going to be a good battle in the midfield here, although the podium places might well be settled. There's still one up for grabs, the last one, and there's plenty of places inside the top 5 and the top 10 to be fought over as well. Look at the lap time from Bird this time round. It's not going to count actually, is it? He's got an off track, but you certainly see, you can see with your own eyes the gap that's been closed. De Graaf pretty much right behind him here, and Maxwell right in there as well as he looks to the inside through the long right-hander. Now we're getting the slipstream down the hill here. Will he have a go at turn 3 maybe? Is he too far back? There's no real braking zone here, so you've got to be closer than that, and he's not able to find his way through just yet, applying the pressure to Menno de Graaf himself.
He hit the chicane quite well, so he carried some better speed, you have to say, through there. Luke Maxwell that we're watching on board with. See how he's slicing through the S's quite well, so it's all about getting a good exit coming up now. It looks like you get close, but then the car just carries that momentum as it rolls around the corner. And you've got to wonder if de Graaf is looking backwards here at the moment at Maxwell attacking him, or is he looking to get past Jamie Bird up the road?
So 2.5 seconds now up to the top 2, who are surely, if they don't make any mistakes, going to finish either first or second. It's not quite confirmed in which order they're going to be, but this is the battle to be watching. Look at this, the biggest group on the circuit, and Maxwell's the one who's applying the real pressure here. It's Menno de Graaf in the AM class who's up in 4th place, ahead of 4 pros in a row. And if you can keep them all behind him, Menno de Graaf, he'll have a huge gain in points compared to the others. He'll be 5 positions ahead of second. That's the thing in the AM class. The margins can be gained and lost in a quicker amount of time than you can in the pros, because if you finish ahead of some pros, then you score points on an overall basis and you gain points on your rivals. That's exactly what Menno de Graaf's doing so far this afternoon. In towards turn 3, he will continue to soak up the pressure from Maxwell, and he's doing a very good job here as well.
Yeah, he's fighting like he's in a pro class course, and certainly is on the pace with the pros. He's not just going to move across and let anybody through, because he realises he's got that nice little buffer, of course, to Mellis down the road there. As John set the fastest lap, and he's going to be working on Bremerstone, and they'll be on the back of this snake actually very, very soon. You'll see the Scotsman in the picture there. So it's certainly going to heat up here at the moment, but as you said, with that de Graaf, he's not moving across the side. He's like, I can play with the big boys.
Yeah, he's absolutely put in a big statement here. It's fantastic to see from Menno de Graaf.
Oh, Maxwell.
Maxwell, after all that pressure applied to de Graaf, has lost 4 places, or 3 places rather, in one spin.
I saw Declan was going off track a little bit before earlier as well too, but Declan's is not having one of those races. But this is where it is, so just comes in too hot, doesn't it? Onto the chicane.
Wow.
Not too much grip out there. Thankfully enough, it didn't roll backwards, so it didn't spoil anybody else's party.
You don't often see a spin like that from Maxwell without contact involved.
Paul LeMay in the lead.
He's down to 8. Oh, and a change for the lead. Bousson loses the lead to Paul LeMay. That's a surprise, especially at that part of the track. You don't often see incidents through there, but Bousson has very suddenly lost the lead.
I'll see if we go back and have a look at that one. Maybe a little bit of a mistake.
I remember he got a slowdown through the first chicane last race. Is this a slowdown again as well?
It just looked
Looks
a little
like it to
too
me.
easy, doesn't it? You wouldn't think you'd be handing the lead over like that. That easy.
Did look a bit too easy. And so LeMay through. Is he going to be able to hold on to that position? Same goes for Jamie Bird here, who's actually at the front of this group now, and Menno de Graaf putting pressure on him.
Yes.
Oh, who's that going wide there? What's going on here? Peter Zoldos is getting lapped here, and that is creating all kinds of carnage in the background. Pollard's quite close now to de Graaf. Of course, it's not Maxwell who's on the back of de Graaf anymore. He's 3 seconds off the back of this group, but lap traffic wasn't something I was expecting these guys to have to deal with, but Zoldos has been in the pit lane, unfortunately, in this race, and he's gone for a spin now as well.
Yeah, he's just trying to get out of the way, I think, and just pull off the track there, go into the dirty side of the track there, and just had a moment. But he is pumped last, and he's lapped down, so just wanted to get out of the way, I think, of this fantastic battle you're looking at on your pictures right now. As John has caught this party. He's a little bit behind Bremer that we're on board with right now, who's can see this fantastic race up the road there. De Graaf's got to be just careful here, isn't he? He's got the AM, the win here in the bag, I'd say, pending he doesn't make any mistakes or come in collision with anybody.
Yeah, on the one hand, he has got a comfortable AM lead, but I think in terms of points, because he is a contender for the championship in the AMs, he wants to gain as many as he can over his rivals, and to do that he needs to keep these pros behind. So what's the balance here between those two objectives? As you say, he definitely want first. Meanwhile, this is about per second, and that's Declan Marsden going round the outside of turn 12. He's been applying the pressure to Stefan Mellis for quite a while now, but that's an impressive move, and Declan Marsden's up to second in the AM class.
Yeah, damage limitation, and that's certainly, they're going to continue at it for sure. That's still a battle, of course, in class for those, and that's a battle for P2 in class currently at the moment. John's got to figure out a way of getting past all these drivers, as Maxwell just sets the fastest lap down the road from these drivers. Hey, if Maxwell keeps setting those fastest laps, he'll be on the tailpipe of John in a second, and it'll be an 8-way snake of cars, well, 6 cars up the road there. We've still got Paul LeMay just ahead of Mike Boosen at the moment. That's a battle for P1.
This has been the group to watch here in this race. We've been following it all along. 5 minutes to go until the end of it. Unfortunately, you'd like it to carry on for another 25 minutes to most. It's fantastic racing. De Graaf versus Pollard again in towards turn 10. Again, the defence from De Graaf. This time he makes a bit of an error though. The pressure finally getting to him maybe. And Pollard gets alongside him through turn 11. Now 12. This is where Marsden made his overtake a moment ago and he can't do it, Pollard. Here comes Bremer. Oh, he slipped to the inside. He dropped right the way down to last at the end of the last race. Let's hope that doesn't happen again in another incident. Bremer looking for his 9th place gains today. He's only 6th though. He couldn't get past Pollard, and McCutcheon can't get through either.
Oh, fantastic race up the front as well too. There's another attack from Mike on the inside.
Boosen's on the inside of LeMay, who made a bit of a mistake there. Had a bit of a slide. Now, was there contact? I don't think so. Boosen on the defensive. Oh, hello. Weaving around all over the place. He holds the lead ahead of Paul LeMay. So it changes again with less than 5 minutes to go.
You love a race where you just don't know where to look because there's action all over the place, and it certainly is. Jamie Bird's the one who's got to keep the rest of these drivers behind him. He's probably loving that battles that are going on, but saw Jamie Bird did make a mistake before. He's just got to focus on his own race at the moment. He is under attack, of course, from De Graaf, who's under attack from Pollard, he's under attack from Bremer, he's under attack from McCutcheon. It sounds like a very long law firm.
It's a really big group, and the fact that Jamie Bird is the cork in the bottle for it is somewhat of a surprise, really. There goes Pollard again. Oh, he doesn't get to the inside, though. He's tried the outside through turn 12. He decided that maybe the inside was worth a go as well. He couldn't do it this time round as they go through the final corner. McCutcheon very nearly hit Bremer there. That would likely have sent McCutcheon around. In those collisions, often the car behind goes for the spin. That's exactly what we saw when McCutcheon hit Mellis, of course, earlier on in the race. In towards turn 1. Just over 3 minutes to go, so probably 3 laps to go yet. Maybe more. Yeah, probably 3. Plenty of time left for one of these guys to really make a name for themselves here at the very end of this race. Down in towards turn 3. Still absolutely nose to tail, nowhere to go.
And Maxwell's starting to catch him in the background as well too, as I figured he's putting down those bank of laps in clean air. Absolutely fantastic. So there are opportunities, enough time. Let's just call race control and say, let's give us another 10 minutes, please, because this is absolutely fantastic. But unfortunately, they're not going to have that. Wow, look at this. Get your popcorn there ready, Ewan.
Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic stuff between these guys. As they go side by side again. Oh, no chance this time in towards turn 10. Pollard again, though, on the exit. Pretty strong through here. And now he's looking to the inside of 12. De Graaf had a warning sign last lap. He's not listened to the warning. And Pollard's through on the inside. Is it going to start to tumble now for De Graaf at the end? It is. He loses 2 places. And now he's pulling out the way of McCutcheon and Maxwell as well.
Oh.
He's conserving the AM victory by letting the pros all go through.
Yeah, just like that, after putting fantastic fights up there, he's going to drop from the outhouse from the penthouse to the outhouse, essentially, on that one. But Maxwell putting pressure on John. So we knew he's been absolutely flying, and he has.
Oh, and John went off there.
Yeah.
John went off slightly. I wonder whether there'll be anything to say about that, because if he breaks too late and defends by going off the circuit, there could be trouble. This is Pollard versus Bremer down towards turn 3. Bremer's having a look at the inside. Oh, that's dangerous. Oh, and he just about pulls out in time. My goodness, that was close. It's a real high-speed corner there, the highest speed corner on this circuit, and an otherwise pretty low-speed circuit. But Bremer very nearly got to the inside at the corner and nearly made a move. He couldn't quite do it, though.
Woo, hold on to your hats. Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, cats and dogs, because this one's going to get down to the wire for sure. And the lead is also brewing up for Bison. Paul LeMay, baby, saving something for the Two Brothers Racing entry to see if he can get past that team red line very soon. He's going to do it in the next couple of laps if he wants to get it done. Bremer now on the back there of Mikey Pollard, and that's a battle for P4, Jamie Bird. A little bit of a gap, you'd say. A little bit. It's probably enough of this battle going on to secure himself that final step of the podium.
So final lap starts with Mike Bousson leading the way. He lost 2 attempts last time to LeMay. And how desperate is he going to be to take that race victory here, LeMay? And how desperate is he going to be to try and pass Mike Bousson at the end? Bousson's desperate to keep him behind. Look at the weaving on the way towards turn 3, but surely he'll be favourite to take it from here. It would take something special from Paul LeMay on the last lap to overtake him from here.
He's just got to mount that pressure, isn't it? Got to force him to a mistake. That's all it is. Completely different racing line up through the S's. That'll scrub a bit of speed there for Paul LeMay, but it might throw Mike off as well too if he's looking in his mirrors. Further back, maybe the last possible opportunities that you have here for Bremer. And if these two make a little bit of a mistake, and we've seen that before, drivers, you could lose 2 places, if not 3 at this point, because you've got John, Luke, and De Graaf down the road.
Well, it looks like Pollard's going to hold on, and same for Bousson as well, who's just coming into the final couple of corners at the moment, and he's going to win the second race here at Rudskogen. Oh, and they both push hard into the final turn. You can see how hard they're both trying, but Mike Bousson's going to take race 2 victory here from Rudskogen in a fantastic drive from the midfield. The mate came through pretty well as well to finish in second. It looks like they're all going to maintain the positions behind as well at the back end of the group. Menno de Graaf is going to win in the AM class. What a fantastic drive from him. A great defence from all the pros through most of that race. Unfortunately, he wasn't quite able to stay in front of all of them right the way to the very end, but nevertheless a great drive.
He finished with only a 3-second gap, actually, being not with Declan Marsden, who just got ahead of Stefan Mellis towards the end as well. So that is, if there was more time, you'd have to imagine that Declan would have been putting the challenge to De Graaf, but it is what it is. We're going to get some burnouts from Stefan, who's, 6 positions down this race, but he's like, you know what, I'm going to just burn these tyres to pieces there. Probably enjoyed themselves. It was a good race to certainly watch, and I'm pretty sure it was a certainly good race to be a part of as well.
Rolliston and Pullman are the last 2 drivers coming across the line who are remotely close together, but they stay in the positions that they're in, and Zolos will go over the line at 1 lap down as well. We'll have a chat to a couple of these drivers in a few moments' time as well, of course, but first let's have a look at the race results from race 2 here from Rudskogen. A very exciting reverse grid race ends with Mike Bousson taking the victory here today. Paul LeMay putting all the pressure on towards the end, but couldn't quite overtake him. Jamie Bird heads that massive group from 3rd place on backwards. Mikey Pollard, in Bremer, John McCutcheon and Luke Maxwell all battling it out throughout. Menno de Graaf finishes at the back end of the group, winning in the AM class. And Declan Marsden and Stefan Mellis, who finished on the podium. Damien G, Dave Rosden and Gert-Jan Palmer, the last drivers on the lead. Lap ahead of Peter Zolos, who finished 1 lap down. Let's have a chat to Mike Bousson then, shall we? The race 2 winner here tonight from Rudskogen. Congratulations, Mike, on winning the second race. Tell us about your defence of that position and your battle with Paul.
Evening, chaps. Yeah, that was not bad. You know, I've gone from slagging the track off constantly to John, asking him who the hell decided to put that in there to it's my favourite track now. It's amazing what a win does. Yes, yeah, Paul was brilliant. I was getting the grips with it as we went on, and I was just lucky to not really get too many slowdowns or penalties. Yeah, worked well. A good launch. I think I made quite a lot of moves on the off the start line, which set the race up nicely.
Yeah. Yeah, I was going to ask about that actually, slowdowns, because I noticed you lose the lead at one stage. It looked like you had a slowdown, but just how much of a factor was that, and where were the places to look out for?
It was massive for me. I didn't study the track well enough to really understand why I was getting them and where I was getting them. But the one that killed me the most was, I'll say, last 3 corners from the end, left, and just go over there, thinking, I'll get a nice launch out for the left-right for the last bend, and I just had to be so cautious around there. But again, I was going through the fast left complex. I haven't got a clue where my wheels were, I can understand how the F1 drivers feel. We need blue lines or something there, because I don't believe I was off track that many times, but iRacing never lies, I suppose.
No. Well, yeah, no, it's always going to be a problem. You certainly weren't the only one with slow down and off-track trouble here tonight, that's for sure. But congratulations on getting the race win in race 2. Is there anybody you'd like to shout out before we let you go?
China. We're going China this week. Loving the retaliation of tariffs. As long as my graphics card price don't go up, I couldn't give a toss. I mean, I couldn't give a monkeys, to be brutally honest, but I'm loving the American-China war this week, so I'll give it to... I don't even want to say his name, or he might try and kill me when I get it wrong.
Just don't order it from Amazon in the United States and you'll be okay. Because you'll have to pay
Well,
all
this
those
is very
extra
true.
fees.
The world's biggest companies all rest in America, but yet all their production is in Taiwan or China. I don't think Trump's really thought it through, but,
He's not
credit
your
where
president.
credit's true,
You won't have to
he's
worry about that.
stuck. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I offended some American in a week. I said, well, the weak will get weak and the stronger will get stronger, I suppose, But let's not make this too political. Got to save this for a podcast, supposedly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you can chat to James about that.
Yeah, well, he hasn't come up with a figure yet. He thinks I'm doing it for free.
Oh, yeah. Negotiations are ongoing.
This is no charity, I've got cost of living crisis going on. Right. I'll let you get on to the next man.
Thanks very much. Mike, congratulations on race 2, and we'll see you next week.
Yes. Good night, chaps.
See you later. Mike Booston there, as always, causing carnage in this commentary booth. Let's have a chat to Paul LeMay, who will hopefully be a bit more civilised as after second place finish. Sorry for interrupting the conversation, Paul. Congratulations on finishing second place in race number 2. That's the same question I asked to Mike. How was the racing for the lead there in the second race?
Yeah, hi guys. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Set up a good move on Mike, and I thought, right, I got to keep it all together. But I lost the rear, and it gave Mike the chance to come past. And then it was really, really difficult to try and get back on his on his rear and try and get him again. He had it pretty much sewn up after that.
Well, how did you find race 1 in the end? Because obviously that set yourself up for the second race. And to be honest, I don't think we saw very much of you. How was race 1 as well?
Yeah, I was hoping to qualify a bit better than I did, and I got an off track, and I had to let Mike pass, and I think then he got an off track, and it was just really sort of a bit of a procession. But I enjoyed it. Never been a big fan of this track, but the car does help really, because it's a great combination. So really pleased, and well done to Mike.
I don't think anybody is a fan of this circuit, really, to be honest with you. That's why it's free. Is there anybody you'd like to give a shout out to before we let you go?
Yeah, just to Mike, really. It's a great race, and I really enjoyed it, and he did a fantastic job.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations to yourself as well for finishing second, and thanks for chatting to us as well.
Okay, guys. See you soon.
Thanks very much. That's Paul LeMay at second place in race 2 tonight. And John McCutcheon has come for a chat with us as well. Race 1 winner. Congratulations on that, John. And we'll start with the positives first. How did you find qualifying in the opening race of the day? Where I've got to say, you looked pretty dominant, really.
I didn't expect to get pole. Luke was showing the pace all week, going with the timings. He was the man to beat. And I managed to find some time in sector 1. Just enough to pip him at the post, I think. Wasn't much in it.
And the track position seemed to be very important in race 1 as well. Not a lot went on for you in that race, other than winning. Your second race was a lot busier. Tell us about the first lap, first of all, and where things start to go a little bit wrong for you.
The annoying thing was, we were speaking to Luke about it during the interval, and I said, we just need to take it easy, because people are slogging into corners and themselves. And I go here into the corner at 1 speed. Stefan checks up, and I had to avoid him, had to spin round, and that got damaged front and back. So that was my race winning chance gone. Like you say, it's so difficult to fall around here. It's so twisty. You could barely see the next apex. So I was happy to get, I don't even know where I finished, 5th or 6th maybe? 7th, 8th?
It was somewhere around there anyway. You obviously get a place from Luke having a spin around as well, sort of position for free if you like. But yeah, difficult in that group. I've got to say the group you were in though was fantastic to watch, and you, of course from De Graaf actually, who pulled out the way. But great racing to watch. But I can understand might be a bit frustrating to racing as well, as you say, pretty difficult to follow around this circuit, as we know. Is there anybody you'd like to give a shout out to, John, before we let you go?
A shout out to Mr. Busson for winning race 2 there. He was struggling. I watched we had a little practice session last night, and he was spinning it more than a spinning top last night. So well done to him.
He was complaining about the circuit in the Discord and all sorts. But,
yeah, I know. It came good.
Always the way, isn't it? Circuits you like don't go very well, and then you win at someone you really hate. It's always the way. Well, congratulations on winning race 1 here tonight yourself, John, and thanks for coming to chat to us afterwards as well.
Okay, thanks, Ewan. Thanks, Biggles.
Thanks very much. That's John McCutcheon, race 1 winner tonight at the Rudskogen. Well, I've got to say, Biggles, I was pretty impressed with the racing tonight. A lot of drivers complaining about the circuit. I think commentators as well, suspecting that maybe it was me. Me complaining. Sometimes you see the circuit and think, well, it's not going to be filled with overtakes, but especially race 2, that was very entertaining.
I would have loved to ride shotgun with those drivers. That would have been absolutely a blast, isn't it? I mean, my eyes would have been closed, and I probably would have been Code Brown moments quite a bit, but absolutely, yeah. Race 2 was super exciting. Race 1, you're getting a little dress rehearsal for the main show, of course, and the main show was certainly entertaining. There's your Heat 1 results, and of course, we just spoke to John there, Luke Maxwell, who finished behind him as well, too, in the feature race, and Mikey Pollard there, who finished 4th in the feature race as well, finished 3rd in the first race, with David taking the AM victory for that one.
And in race number 2, the pros and the AMs were actually separated, but Mike Booston was able to take the race win. Well, big thanks to everyone who's been tuned in over the course of tonight. It's been fantastic racing actually here at the Rudskogen tonight. We'll be back next week at Snetterton as we take on this sort of more twisty circuit portion of the season in between the Monza Historic and Daytona rounds. 4, I was right the first time. Twisty circuits in a row. VIR last week, Rudskogen this week. Snetterton and Road Atlanta to come in the next 2 weeks as well. So very much hope that you can join us for that as well. Same time, same place on the JPB YouTube channel for the Trophi.Ai Radical SR8 Championship. I've been Ewan O'Leary alongside Dear Biggles. Until we see you next week at Snetterton, it's goodbye for now.